How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, time to get that imagination all revved up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Elshad Kasumov. Probably mispronouncing that. Let me know. Comments down below. He is a wonderful artist. I found him online. He used to work with a webcomic that was really cool. But I thought he has a really kind of unique perspective on drawing. And he did stuff in the early 2000s for a while, and you can definitely see his work progress, which is always kind of a cool thing to see, as well as to see an artist grow and expand and get better and better, and see their work kind of evolve and their style change and everything. But I really like his stuff. I think he's got a really unique sense of imagination. Definitely a big Frazetta fan for sure, which I am as well, so I always appreciate any kind of stuff that has that kind of aesthetic or inspiration behind it. I really like this creature that he came up with. I thought it was kind of a mix of tough and sweet, almost like a big puppy dog mixed with like this dragon creature. A really kind of cool idea and concept on there. Really dynamic posing here. You can see his site over here if you guys want to go check out more stuff. Again, I'll always throw a link in the description down below. But yeah, amazing stuff. So definitely check out more from him. But I wanted to share a quick little snippet that I was able to find of some of his writings. And he kind of, a lot of times in the beginning, ended with, and remember, there's plenty more where that came from. And it's kind of a little bit show business-y, I feel. But it's got something that I think is important as creative people or as imaginative people, is to try and leave your audience always wanting more, or let them have the feel that if they do appreciate your stuff and know that there's, you know, it isn't, you're not like a one-hit wonder or one-trick pony or anything like that, that you have, you know, more stuff to show and more places to go, and, you know, that you're always going to be improving, and that you're there for the community that, you know, you're either a part of, or that's, you know, following you, or whatever it is. And I think it's important to remember that aspect of it that we don't necessarily talk about very much. But as somebody who tries to, you know, as I imagine you guys are, who's really creative and really imaginative and everything, you know, it's important to always, you know, keep your audience in mind as well. So that being said, I'm getting a little bit rambly, so let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Moley rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash, and I will throw a link to this one and everything we've talked about in the description below. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, is we give ourselves 48 frames, give or take. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well, and we kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, just hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process. But the main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own amazing stuff each and every day. As you can tell, I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold, so apologies about that, but let's go ahead and start playing around. Now, yesterday's video went a little bit longer, so I think I'll stick with just doing kind of a little bit of a walk cycle today. And first thing I want to do is try and come up with a more interesting storytelling pose here. And keep the arms in FK for this one as well. And bring that back. Bring this foot forward here. Let's see. Heel peel, would it be the foot swivel? No. I think it would be the heel peel would go this way, but it doesn't seem like it. So let's see if we can move it back if that does anything. Let's do smaller, quicker steps. I feel like this guy would do. And the legs down a little bit. So we'll do steps on 7s. I don't usually work on 7s, but it could be fun. Something a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and rotate that foot out there. Rotate this one out here. forward, but we don't want intersecting. Is there a different separate controller here for the necklace piece? There is. Okay. We can flatten that out. That'll be fun. A little extra to add in there. And do a little bit of sway and everything in there. And let's tip the head down just a little bit more. Okay, and let's come up with a more interesting hand pose here. I'll bring that over a little bit. Might be a little too stiff, so I'll bend in there a little bit more. Okay, and I think we'll do a little bit of spread here, or splay, as this controller would have it. Do a little twist there, just so we get a little more interesting hand pose. And let's tweak the thumb a little bit, just because I like to always try and get into everything here. Okay, that's pretty good. And we'll just do a little bit on this one. Pinky here. And go a little bit there. And bring that back there, and that back. So there's a little more of a grouping between the first two fingers here. Get the thumb out a little bit more. And tip it there. Alright. It's an okay pose to start with, just something a little more interesting. This arm might be a little too far back, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. So let's go ahead and save our file. We are using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. For more information on that and all of the wonderful products over at Autodesk, check out the link in the description below. Autodesk. Oh, it's a little cold. It's kind of making me not pronounce things as well as I should. Apologies about that. So let's go 49 frames, because I think we said we were going to do this stuff on 7s. So, no, 7s won't work. Let's do stuff on 10s. Because 7s would mean we'd have to do stuff on 14s. We're really quick on there. So let's do 5s. The 10s, that'd be 50. Okay. So let's set our first key there. We're going to delete that. And let's go 10. So we'll grab this foot, we'll push it back there. Remember, we were just thinking we were going to do little stutter steps here, but I think we have to go 60 in order for it to loop right. Right? Yeah, so 60 frames here. Bring that back. Let's see. Alright, let's look at the other foot here. Set that one. And then push it forward here, but move that to 10. And then we'll flip between those two frames. Might have to do a little bit further back. I feel like they're really favoring the forward here. Okay, so let's push that back just a little bit more. There. This one. Push it a little bit further back. Let's move that to 20. Let's see. See if it matches. And a little bit further. Okay. And then we're just middle mouse buttoning over here. And then hit S on our keyboard, so make sure we lock those in. Those are quick little steps. Okay, we'll continue that, and let's do a little bit of up and down here. So go down on the passing position and up, and down, and up. We're just trying to build the foundation here for this walk. So nothing too exciting just yet. Hips and the feet are really the two main things you want to focus on as best as you can. Start off with so you get a good foundation for where to go with the rest of it. Okay, now let's clean up those translate Y's because there seems to be a lot of disparity between the extremes there. So we'll go animation editors, graph editor, and let's balance those up and downs a little bit more. And I think we're going to minimize them a bit as well. Let's see how that feels. Maybe we'll invert it. Let's see. I like the other round. Maybe I like that. Maybe we'll go a little more traditional, but we'll bring them down a little bit more. Okay, go ahead and save our file here, and let's do our passing positions on the feet. So I'll grab here, and we'll go back in, and we'll just key our main poses one more time, just so make sure that we're hitting S on our keyboard and locking in all of our attributes here. And we'll raise that foot up. And raise that foot up here. Here, and back down, and we'll grab the other one side here, and we'll lift it up, lift it up. I don't want these steps to feel too high. I want kind of little stutter steps. Kind of want to push the up and down a little bit off. So I would go up, down, up, like that. Let's see if that feels better. And then we go lower with the downs. And not so high with the ups. And we need another key here. Keep our pattern going. Let's see how it feels. Maybe we should invert it. Let's see. So let's start off going down. And go up. Let's watch that now. Maybe it should be on 12 that it goes there. Okay, keep tweaking this. Not sure I like it just yet. Alright, let's move on and do something a little bit more with the hips, then we'll come back to the up and down and see how we like it. So we'll do a little bit of shifting, so the weight would be over the planted foot a little bit more. Over that one, over this one, back, and zero it out. Yeah, let's balance out those translate X's here, so we don't have any real extremes sticking out. And balance them between left and right, so they're not really favoring one side over the other. Let's look at that now. Yeah, I just don't like the translate Y, so let's just get rid of those for now. Okay, a little bit too much translate X, so scale it back. But yeah, the Y's just weren't working for some reason, so I just deleted them for now, and we'll go back to it. Maybe it's just too quick to do too much up and down. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's do a little bit of rotate. So do a little bit of rotate Z here, and this way, and then we'll rotate the chest to offset this stuff in a little bit as well. But again, we're just getting the hips to work here, and let's scale that back a bit more and balance it out as well. It's funny, when I animate now, and I'm not recording, I tend to still pull my graph editor up here instead of using my second monitor, just because I'm so used to doing that with you guys each and every day. You'll find that it's always good to get good habits working, though. It's going to help you in the long run. There was a quote that I was reading today, and I think it was the Get Motivated subreddit, that was, you can't really change your future, but you can change your habits, and hopefully your habits will help shape your future, and something to that effect. And not nearly as eloquent as I am, what was it, but it's something to that effect. And let's go ahead and look at that now. Okay, definitely need to tone down the stuff on the chest, but I think that'll work. So we'll do a little bit of rotate to favor that arm going forward. And this one, make sure buttons, this one, and this way, and back again, and back this way, and back. Okay, let's balance that out a little bit better. So let's grab all the rotate Y's here and make sure we're getting a good balance between both sides and evening it out a little bit more, so we're not favoring just the one side there. So not half, but about 3/4 of what we had before. And let's look at the rotate Z. Do a little bit here, a little bit there, here, a little bit there, back this way, that way, and then go back. And let's look at that now. Okay, let's see that now. To use this controller. It's doing a lot with the head, so let's see if we can counter animate the head. Keep it focused forward. And we'll see if we can use that upper back controller or not. Let's see here. Let's find a good balance here. Let's see now. As close as we can get. And then we'd have to move this, try to do the inverse here of what we did there, the opposite. And keep that one. Go down somewhere there. Let's flip just between those two keys and see if that'll delete that, delete that. or not. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's just too much here. So we're going to have to scale this back to not a lot at all. Let's see it now. So we don't have a net controller, which is a bummer. So let's see. Feels pretty good there. Let's see. Let's just zero everything out here. Gotta still put some. Come on, why are you being so finicky here? Rotate Z. Alright, I'll just do it this way then. Fine. Yeah, let's zero this one out here. No? Okay, so maybe what we need to do is just do more of this, and then I'll do it. So a little more rotate Y, so no, because it's not affecting the head. So it must be working off the hips. There we go. Focus that forward. Okay. So now we're going to have to get funky with this thing, but that's okay. Whoa, what's sticking there? Fix that, hopefully. And then I think it's the rotate Z here, and the hips. It's doing the head swivel so much too. Which is weird that the head's connected to the hips so much, but that's okay. Yeah, let's see if we can't maybe let's push the translate X a little bit more since we don't really have any rotate. Now that we scale that back even more. Well, let's look at the arms, see if we can get those working, and we'll come back and see how we're doing here. So that was our forward. So this should be our back here. And back there. Vary between those. Is there a weird head's just so wobbly. Let's tone down the chest here. So we'll take all the rotate Y's, we'll scale them back here. And let's do it separately here. Rotate Z's as well. this guy. Definitely some funky stuff with this rig a little bit, but that's okay, we'll figure it out. It's a nice rig, but it's definitely got some connections that I would say are different setup than a lot of other rigs. Okay, and let's see. Push that a little bit forward and we'll scale them back a little bit. And let's look at this side here. And we'll push this a little bit forward here. And a little more back there. Maybe a little more rotate Z up here. I'm wondering why it intersects through the body on this side but not on that side. Let's try and add just a hint of rotate X there as well. See if that helps. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Push the rotate Z's there a little bit. Oh, that's probably why I left the rotate Z alone on the other one. So that's probably it. Okay, well that might just do it. Okay, maybe I'll scale or rotate X back a little bit as well. Okay, we should maybe push the rotate Y's back a little bit further here. Okay, now let's do a little bit, see if we can get that up and down working here. And then down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And we'll clean these up again in a second. Back again. Okay. I feel like we're having to scale back a lot of stuff on this rig. Some of the stuff that we got really loose in the beginning, just because of how it affects all the rest of the members. It's not really. So might have to just play this one down a lot. And it's starting to feel a little better. At least we got some weight in there. Let's look at the head. Do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And just vary between those two here. Let's see. And then go back to the beginning there. Okay, and let's look at the rotate X there. Maybe tilt that just a little bit. I'll just scale that back a little bit more here too. starting to feel a little better. Alright, yeah, that feels better now. Okay, some stuff's finally starting to feel a little bit looser and a little bit smoother there, which is great. So let's look at the elbow here. Drag it up a little bit, drag it back, up a little bit, back, up a little bit, back, and set that. Let's see. Okay, and now we need to even that out because I think towards the end we didn't hit that correctly. Okay. That's why I wasn't going so much. We didn't overshoot and come back there. So let's see that now. Alright, and let's look at the wrist. Do a little bit of swing forward and drag back. Swing forward here, drag back. Swing forward there, drag back, and we'll go back into it. So let's see. Alright. And go a little bit less forward and a little bit more on the back here. Yeah, because it feels like it just like kind of hits a wall, and we want to make sure that we're kind of breaking it a little bit and dragging it a little bit more. Keep it looser. Alright. I think I am going to pull back a little bit on the Translate X now. We got the up and down working. We'll do a little bit less side to side on the hips. Okay, and let's look at the other arm here. So I'll go ahead and drag it back there, pull it in, drag it back there, and pull it in, drag it back, pull it in, and loop back in. Alright, let's clean that up a little bit more. Probably have to go less on the back and more on the forward. And let's look at the wrist. Do a little bit more drag back there. And break it forward. Drag back. And pull it forward. And then get back into where we started. Look at how we did there. And again, probably want to pull this back a little bit. Let's make sure we grab all of them here. Now, I kind of want to do some heavier steps here, so let's go ahead and go at 3, and we'll rotate that back, and then we'll lift it up here, and flatten it out there. Yeah, maybe that's heavy enough. Yeah. Maybe we'll key the rotation it's not as harsh. Let's do it on once, that's fine. I'll delete that. Then we'll go, what did we say? 2 frames from the middle, and we'll drag it back a little bit. 1 frame from the contact, and we'll lift it up, slap it down. So 2 frames in, drag it back, 1 frame from the contact, slap it down. So let's see. Makes the steps a little bit heavier, a little bit more weighty, meaty there. And let's balance those out a little bit more. I don't think we need them too extreme, so probably somewhere like that. It's a good medium ground throughout there. And let's look at the height of those steps as well. Make sure those feel pretty balanced. Don't have to be exact, but fairly close. Let's go ahead and save our file too. We haven't done that for a little while. Remember, it's always good to save multiple versions and to save often. And now let's look at this foot. And we'll drag it back 2 frames from the passing position, 1 frame from contact, and we'll slap it down. Drag that back, 1 frame from there, slap it down. Drag it back, 1 frame from there, and we'll slap it down. Okay, now let's even those out again. Good balance. Let's see. And remember, you can always start off kind of vanilla, and then the little stuff that you add to a walk doesn't have to be completely over the top, but it's going to give you that personality that you're looking for. So you don't always have to start with these wacky, crazy walks, but start something kind of vanilla. Then add a couple of things that are just off in your timing or in your posing or in your spacing or something that's just going to add a little bit of personality. And that tends to be a good way for getting personality walks that aren't jumping and flying off the wall kind of walks, but just something that pushes that vanilla feeling a little bit more. So we add a little bit more heavy steps, a little bit faster than a normal kind of walk. Arms and chest sway a little bit more, but let's go ahead and still get into, let's look at the necklace here. We'll go ahead and sway that. Is that not working anymore? There we go. Swing it this way. Actually, maybe we would have it swing over on 10. Instead. Let's see. Actually, you could probably push that like 2 frames later. And then we'll get to this guy, and that one should be at like 5 here. So it should swing this way. Step back a couple, just make sure that we didn't get that rotate Z in there. We just want to rotate Y. So swing it this way, and then that way, and this way, and that way, and this way, and that way, and then back again. Gotta loosen up that. And we could probably even delay that another frame as well. Let's see it now. Yeah, that feels a little better. Now, I think I'm going to just pull the arms back a little bit more. They seem a little over the top now that we've kind of added the elbow and the wrist working now, so I'm just going to scale them back a little bit more. And also with the wrists, On this side, I feel like I'm favoring too much the forward, so I'm going to pull that back, not enough on the back, and vice versa on this side, too much on the back, and not enough on the forward. So let's look at it again. Alright, now let's look at the mouth here. Okay. So I'll drag it there. And close it here. I think we have it up and down every 5 frames, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do the mouth on is 5. So it bounces at about the same rate here. And then we'll delay it by a couple of frames. And also minimize it. I don't want this much mouth going on. Come on, what are you being funky about? Okay, there we go. Like I said, it's too over the top right now. We just want a little bit of this. I don't want any translate X in there. So let's minimize it quite a bit. It doesn't have to be even at all. I like there being a bit of variety in there. Let's see that now. Hit here. And that's probably about right. And then we'd want to do another one, another key here that would overshoot it a little bit. Okay, so let's look at it now. Okay, and let's scale it back a little bit more too. See how that feels. What if we left it open and then flopped the tongue? Let's see. We can leave it open like this. And then we can play with the tongue a little bit more. It's not really doing too much. Leave that alone. That looks kind of funky. Alright, I'll just go back to what I had. Maybe we can do a little bit in the lips. Let's just do the bottom lip though. Vary between those two. And definitely minimize it a little bit more, but that way there's the jaw and the lip moving, and hopefully add a little bit of fleshiness, a little looseness to the mouth itself. Okay, and let's look at that. Like I said, really want to minimize that. Let's see now. It's a little over the top, so maybe we'll scale it. some variety here. Let's see. Let's look at the eyes. Let's do a dim eye on this guy. Let's see. We'll set it here. We'll zero out that one. Okay, actually, and zero out this. Start up. Okay. Just do a blink in here, but I think I want to do a little more droopy eye to start with. Okay. I'm gonna do a blink here, so this controller's so funky. Overshoot there. And then we'll close it there. Go back here, back there, right? So let's see. Let's look again at the beginning. Start off a little bit more droopy-eyed. Kind of overshoot to here. Close, but like I said, it's weird because this is the overshoot is the middle, and that's the closed, and that's the mid. Very strange setup for how those eyes work, but we'll figure it out. And then let's hold kind of a couple frames in. And go back there. Let's look at it now. Extra frame there, and we'll keep it closed for a couple more and not have it take so long for them to get closed. Let's see. That one seems too extreme here, so let's push it more. Maybe a couple more frames so it doesn't go right into there. This shouldn't hit, so try and curve that out how I like it. Get one extra frame in there. it's just too big of a pop there. So we really have to get the right key there. Oh, feels a little bit better. And let's hold that closed for one more frame. And let's look at the jaw again. Let's do a little bit less up and down there. Feels a little too chatty versus just okay, now let's look at the toes and the fingers, and I think we'll call it that. So let's drag the toe tap down there, lift it up here, and zero it out there. Drag it down here, lift it up here, and zero it out there. Drag it down at the highest point, lift it up one frame before the contact, and flatten it out one frame after the contact. So we have a heel hitting and then the toe. Get a little bit of that successive movement there. And let's balance all those out a little bit more. Usually if you have some extreme up and down, what you're looking for is somewhere in the middle. So I think there's too heavy with the toe going up so much there, so let's minimize that a little bit more. Alright, and let's look at the other side. Drag the toe down here, lift it up a little bit there, and flatten it there. Drag it down there, lift it up here, and flatten it there. Drag it down there, lift it up here, and we'll flatten it there. So it'll give us a little bit of toe tap up there. Okay, and let's look at that now. Again, probably less toe tap overall on the down. And find a good balance at the beginning. So let's look at that now. Maybe a little bit more on the end. Still a little too much translate X. Let's scale that back a little bit more. I like this being a little bit side to side E, but I feel like it's still too over exaggerated. Let's see. Alright, let's look at the fingers. Go ahead and save our file here. Let's turn our perspective there. So I'll grab all displays here. I think we'll have to do them individually. Swing them forward here. And then drag them back there. Swing them up here. Back there. Up here. Back there. And loop them back. So let's see. Alright, I think we could probably play with that a little bit more. So let's grab all of these. vertex and the mid work on the same way. So we're just going to exaggerate everything a little bit more. A little more looseness in there. Let's see how it feels. It's a little better. Now let's look at the middle and get some different groupings here. So we'll go here, and we'll go there. Gonna group those two together a little bit more there. That's fine. That's fine. This one will go more in the middle. Just to add some variety to our posing there. And our fingers. Alright, and let's look at the thumb. Go out there. No, it's the wrong way. I want to go probably thumb 1 in here, out there, in here, out there, in here, out there, and back again. Let's kind of leaf through that again, make sure there's nothing funky in there. I thought I saw a funky frame. Okay, and let's look at the other side here. So, grab these two, we'll pull them back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, and then loop them back in. And let's look at the pinky. Go back there, forward here, back there, forward here, back there, forward here, and back. And let's look at the middle display. Let's vary that one a little bit more. Right, and the thumb. Let's go with the thumb 1 in here a little bit, out there a little bit, out, in, out, in, just so there's a little bit of movement there. Alright, I think that works. We can definitely spend another hour or so cleaning up. So let's just kind of set up a little more aesthetically pleasing view for our shot here. Go ahead and save. And we'll create a new perspective here. Create polygon primitives. Let's do a cylinder, just so I got a cool base. Too thick for him. Yeah, it fits alright. Copy that, paste another one, scale it up a little bit. Don't make it too tall. And then we'll copy that again. Oh, I'm gonna cut it there. Copy another one, paste another one, scale it up, and in. Get a little beveled effect or tiered effect. And let's grab both of those, assign a new material, throw Lambert on there, change the color of Lambert, something a little bit darker. And then let's create another polygon primitives. Let's do a cube this time, just so we can create a background color here. Raise that up. Assign a new Lambert, new material onto there. Put another Lambert on, and let's just make that a lighter gray. And like that. Let's see how we're looking. Alright, something to work with at least. And then one more thing I wanted to do, I feel like that hits a little bit harsh in that ending, so let's grab everything from our last frame, and we'll just offset that one frame there. One frame that way, so we get a little bit of movement between the ending and the beginning, so that it's not hitting that 2-frame hold there. Yeah, let's look at it now. Yeah, should help that seam a little bit better between when it starts and when it ends there. So let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Elshad Kasumov, and he said, remember, there's plenty more where that came from, and that's same true here with the animation time videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you're taking another step in your journey towards mastering whatever medium it is that you're passionate about. I love you guys lots. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. Let me know if there's different kind of ideas that you have. I know that I should be doing some lip sync ones as soon as I can find some extra time in my day, coming up soon, because I know a couple people have asked about those. Check out my social media stuff, links in the description below, and I think that'll wrap it up for today. You guys are amazing. Remember, if you're watching this, you are the creative future, and I love you lots. You can do it, and we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.